listening. Lars Ham. Is that as in Hamburg? Hi, Cody. Cody, how old are you, bro? I've never looked at your Instagram page. Do you even lift, bro? 32? Do you fall anywhere on the autism spectrum? Like from barely noticeable up to real bad? I'm just busting your balls. If you're really autistic, don't answer that question. You're 6'5", 280. Jesus Christ. Talk about power forward. You're built like Karl Malone. That I fell asleep during the debate. I was watching it on YouTube on my phone, laying in my bunk, and it was such bullshit that I fell asleep. And this is something I've been looking forward to for fucking weeks, and I fell a fucking sleep because it sucked. I think they need to shut off these cocksuckers' microphones while the other person has their 2 minutes, because everyone's blaming Trump for interrupting. Biden was just as bad, and the moderator, Chris Wallace, what a fucking cuckold, man. He interrupted Trump like 76 times, and I think he only interrupted Biden 26 times. He needs to be more invisible and not such an active member of the debate. I loved it when Biden said, "Shut up, man." Where did he get that man from? Is that a 1960s thing? Hey, man. What up, man? Biden did a lot better than I thought. But here's the deal. Trump kept interrupting him during his 2 minutes, and he never let Biden fall to pieces, because Biden can't talk for 2 minutes without making a gaffe. I was listening to talk radio today, and someone who watched the whole thing, unlike myself, said that on average, Biden's answers started falling to pieces at about 35 seconds. And right about the same time, Trump would interrupt him. So if Trump would have kept his mouth shut, we could have had great mints with Biden just rambling nonsense for about 85 more seconds. So Trump's strategy of trying to bully Biden, I think, kind of backfired a little bit. Because I think the more Biden talks, the more it benefits Trump. I wouldn't interrupt Biden. I would just sit there on my podium like this, just smiling. Don't interrupt your enemy making mistakes. Right, that's from the Art of War, right? Great quote from that book. I have no idea about the whole walking abortion thing. I guess supposedly it happened during Lenny's live stream when Lenny put on the swastika flag and YouTube fucking immediately nuked them, kicked them off the air. So I don't really care. Calling someone a walking abortion isn't really that bad. I'm over it. Yeah, I didn't really care for they keep bringing up the thing after Charlottesville. when Trump said, hey, there's really good people on both sides, he wasn't talking about the goddamn KKK or the Nazi party. He was talking about, in every issue, there's good people on both sides. There's people. He was talking about how there's good people that don't want the Confederate monuments taken down. And there's good people that do want the Confederate monuments taken down. What he said was there's good people on both sides. And the Democrats are trying to frame that he was calling the Proud Boys, which is a white supremacist group, good people. And he did not say that. They're taking what he said completely out of context. He said, hey, there's good people on both sides. And with any issue, there's good people on both sides. Lenny needs to be the moderator. No. If Lenny was the moderator, that thing would have been 2 hours late. So anyway. I'll be the moderator. You got to be a freak. You got to deal, buddy. Sleepy Joe was wired. Yeah, he might have had some Adderall pumping through his system. A couple of Adderall makes anybody smarter for a short period of time. The moderator needs to be able to cut the mics after 2 minutes. Yeah, I agree with that too. But while the person who has their 2 minutes, the other person's mic should be cut. That wouldn't be that difficult to do, for Christ's sake. And for, you know what? Maybe a producer in the back who's working the soundboard, when that person has their 2 minutes, you cut the moderator's mic. You cut the other person, cut the moderator, and you only have one mic on after the question has been asked. Because that moderator totally protected Biden. Every time Biden started to bumble, he would jump in and say, okay, we're moving on. Tips for freaky traps. Bro, unfortunately, I think traps are a lot to do with genetics. Because let's take Lenny, for example. He's got incredible traps, but I'll leave it at that. How about that? I'll just shut up. Dorian Yates had great middle traps. The trapezius basically has the high part above the shoulders, the middle traps, and then the lower traps. It's really a huge muscle. And one of the reasons I've been hitting the hammer strength low row so fucking hard is because I always did my bent over rows the proper way, like a pendley row almost. But I realized that I wasn't doing anything for that middle trap. So once I discovered that hammer strength isolateral low row, that's become my new favorite exercise, because I think my middle traps is probably one of the biggest weaknesses besides my quads on my body. Prince Andrew, his favorite machine is the hammer strength isolateral low row as well. What adjustments do you suggest making for the second debate? I believe the second debate is going to be town hall style. The questions are actually going to come from people in the crowd. The moderator is basically going to be walking around with a wireless mic, and people that are invited to the town hall are actually going to be asking the questions, and that's going to make both the candidates be much more polite, because when that's a voter that's asking that question. So I think both people are going to pipe down, because the minute you put the microphone in a voter's hand, each side, whether the question is to you, well, actually the question is going to go to both sides. Just one person gets to go first. But I think both people are going to be much more respectful in a town hall type setting, because they're going to be speaking directly to that voter instead of to the camera or to the moderator. So the next debate is going to be much better. Jay, I play to lose the game. Well, you know what? At least you have a plan. How many times did Biden say last night that the president has no plan? He must have said that 100 times before I even fell asleep. Trump, you know what? I agree with Joe Biden. Trump doesn't have a plan. He just makes shit happen. Whereas someone who's been in Washington for 47 years, like Joe Biden, that's all they have. They like to get together in groups or committees, and they like to come up with a plan, and then nothing ever fucking happens. I think that's a weakness. There's people that make shit happen, and there's people that make plans. And there's probably people that do both, but what's your thoughts on Hurricane Malt Liquor? I think it's the best in the business, honestly. The next best is Anheuser-Busch's other candidate in this segment, under the Natty Daddy label. Hurricane and Natty Daddy are both Anheuser-Busch. And they're probably my two favorites, because I'm an Anheuser-Busch guy. But Icehouse Edge isn't bad. Icehouse Edge is probably the tastiest Miller product made. And Icehouse Edge is 8% alcohol. I generally don't like Miller products. I prefer Anheuser-Busch products. But Icehouse Edge is a good beer. I miss St. Ives. Oh shit. I woke up one time in the, must have been about 1990, with one of the worst headaches I've ever had from drinking, 340s of St. Ives. St. Ives. There you go. Brickhouse Gym. Jay, have you had Buchanan's blended Scotch whiskey? No, I don't drink Scotch. I generally don't drink hard liquor. Those of you guys that have been watching me for a while, I like Captain Morgan. That's just absolutely delicious mixed with anything. My second favorite is probably Jim Beam. I really like a Jim Beam and Coke. Uh, my YouTube still isn't monetized. Uh, Prince Andrew is basically managing my YouTube account from his home computer because it sucks trying to do it from your phone while you're on the road. And Andrew texted me Monday that he checked it and it's still not monetized. It's still under review. I think because of COVID-19, Google has nobody in the office. And I believe YouTube is owned by Google, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm eligible to be monetized, bro. We we filled out the application. It has nothing to do with how many subscribers you have. It all comes down to how many viewing hours you've accumulated. No, Brad did not call me a living abortion. He called me the most handsome abortion he's ever seen. I don't know. I didn't see the video. What's the difference between a living abortion and a walking abortion? Well, there's living abortions that can't walk, like people with birth defects. How about that? There is a difference. If you got birth defects and you can't walk, you're not a walking abortion. You're a living abortion. Make more workout videos instead of lives than deleting them. Yet the whole reason I've been deleting the lives is since I'm not monetized, they don't help me at all. And the reason I'm not doing lives on Instagram is because Chuck E. Cheese Ranch, who is monetized, just uploads my YouTube, my Instagram lives to his YouTube. So, yeah, I wake up every morning and delete my fucking YouTube lives because they're not helping me a bit. If you're not on here live with me, fuck you. You don't deserve to see it. Big J, has YouTube got back to you yet? They should pay for your videos. Thanks, Cody. I love you, Cody. I want to adopt you. You could be like my autistic son. Yeah, so, all right. Right now, there's 67 of you people watching this. You guys are my true heroes. So, if I delete this when we're done, you 67 people got rewarded for being real good fans and real good people. And other people are just going to hear the rumors of what we talked about. So I'm actually, by deleting my live streams, I'm actually training people to actually be more responsive to when I go live. Official Jason Blaha. Dr. Rackbull is helping getting my deadlift up to par. Dude, what's Blaha deadlift? Like 450? Oh, God. And he's like 240 pounds of blubber. Howdy from Montana. I didn't see your name. Oh, Beef Lewis. Damn, what's it? I've only been through Montana once. And I don't remember the town I went through, but it was just east of the Continental Divide on 90. And I think it's like the grizzly bear capital of the fucking world. I remember I was taking 90 through Montana. I stopped at the Continental Divide to take a piss, and I was going to take a picture of the sign. And then I'm thinking, you know what? There could be a fucking grizzly bear fucking waiting to jump on me right now. I think I'm going to go get in my truck. A skateboard could take a grizzly. Yeah, probably. Missoula, Montana is a Trump win still in the cards, Billy? Oh, absolutely. Any of you guys that are driving around, don't, I don't know, unless you're in a hardcore fucking Democratic area like California, New York, or Illinois, there's nothing but Trump signs out there. It, hey, it's not my phone, bro. I have Verizon wireless. Verizon is pretty much, you could argue what's better, Verizon or AT&T. Whatever. I got Verizon. Holy shit, Yander Hold Annie. I see Trump signs all over San Diego. That's crazy. You know, I heard, what's the name of that Spanish television network? They did a survey of their people. What's it called? Hispanic television. Anyway, someone will post it here. But anyway, according to Telemundo, there you go. Telemundo did a poll of their viewers, and Trump beat Biden last night, 64 to 34. So what's that? 98%. So 2% were undecided. Yeah, Telemundo had Trump 64 to 34 last night. That's fucking crazy. So when you see these bullshit polls by CNN or NBC or MSNBC or CBS, I personally trust Telemundo more because they're not cuckolded to the Democratic Party. Telemundo had fucking Trump 64 to Biden 34 in last night's debate. And those are Spanish people. Those aren't even fucking racist white people. Yeah. You know, this election is actually rather unique because nobody is going to change their mind, no matter how many debates we have. Like, nobody changed their mind last night. The only thing that happened last night is independents decided this is a complete shit show. I'm not voting for anybody. So that's pretty much what happened. Biden didn't gain anybody last night. Trump didn't gain anybody last night. Independents just said, this is bullshit. I can't bring myself to vote for either one of these two. That's what happened last night. So you're going to see a lot of people that just can't vote for either candidate this time, which I think is going to hurt Biden because a lot of people voted for Hillary last time that aren't going to vote for Biden. Uh, I know for a fact, living in South Florida, how patriotic the Cuban people are. Cuban Americans are probably know more about American history than most millennial white girls. Cubans love America because they came from a repressive fucking socialist country. And I think that more and more Hispanics are starting to become more like Cubans. Instead of being brainwashed by the Democratic Party, thinking that you need food stamps, you need Section 8 housing, you know, more and more Hispanics are like, fuck that. I like this Trump economy, you know. More and more Hispanics are starting businesses and they want the opportunities of a guy like Trump. The Proud Boys are nationalists. I don't know. I don't know anything about the Proud Boys. They have POCs as chapter leaders. What's a POC? So I need to become a Proud Boy? I'm not opposed to it. I just won't get involved with anything that involves Confederate flags or swastikas. Will Dale ever win a bodybuilding show? Not while I'm on this planet. Dolan Duck, you are so jealous of lions, tigers, and bears. You're just a fucking waterfowl. You know, do male ducks have a penis? Because I know female ducks, their pussy and their asshole is the same hole. Female ducks only have one hole. The egg hole is also their shit hole. So male ducks get anal every time they get laid. Yeah, he said he was 1'6" the other night. I'll bet he's scared of some Canadian geese. So the Proud Boys are not white supremacists. They're just white nationalists. See, I'm a white nationalist, plain and simple. I'm not a white supremacist. I'm not a Nazi. I'm not a KKK. I don't wave the Confederate flag. I don't wave around Nazi battle flags. But I do consider myself a white nationalist, and only because I'm white. If I was black, I would say I'm a black nationalist, but I'm a nationalist. I believe in America first. I don't think we should be helping out other countries when we have such a homeless problem in this country, and we got children whose maybe only meal is the lunch they get at school, and we go give Saudi Arabia, who's oil rich beyond the wildest dreams, and Kuwait, we give money to countries like that are rich as fuck, and we have little kids whose only decent meal all day is the lunch they get at school. That's fucking wrong. And you know, black kids, white kids, China kids, whatever, it doesn't matter what their color. Kids, I would rather we make fucking school lunch free nationwide for every single fucking kid in this whole fucking country before we give another penny to fucking other countries. Now, you guys are, I know what you guys are thinking. Jay wants free lunch, free school lunch for all. Jay's a socialist. Let me explain why. Because in communities where only certain kids get free lunch, a lot of times there's certain policies where, like, they have a different colored lunch card or whatever. There's certain markers that the lunch ladies use so that they know what kids to not collect money from. And that is horribly discriminatory. And a lot of kids who are eligible for a free lunch at school, which, remember, I'm for that. Hey, you want to call me a socialist? Go ahead. Go fuck yourself. When it comes to kids, I'll take a little bit of socialism. It's not going to hurt me. Not going to hurt me one bit. So anyway, a lot of kids in these school districts will skip lunch because they don't want the stereotyping or the harassment or the teasing or the bullying that comes with being associated with a kid getting a free lunch at school. So Big J's plan is every child gets free school lunch. We do away with all the bullshit where they got, you know, people that have to pay, have a one color card, and people that get it free have a different color card, or, you know, give some of these schools, it's almost like putting a yellow Star of David on the kids that get the free fucking lunch. It's horrible. And you should never do that to a child. Anyway, it's something I feel very strongly about. I just think that we all can afford a little bit to make sure every kid in this country gets a good goddamn lunch. Now, I know you guys are thinking, what the fuck happened to Jay? He's turned into a socialist. No, I'm not. But my point is, fuck their parents. I'm not saying give their parents a fucking free lunch. At least when the kid comes home after school, and maybe there's no dinner that night. Maybe their single mom, went and bought a carton of smokes instead of buying groceries. At least that kid, got a good lunch. And not a Michelle Obama fucking lunch, like an apple and some celery sticks and a bunch of fucking bullshit. I want school lunch to be shit that kids are gonna fucking eat. Like, mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, like shit that calories. You know, if we're gonna all chip in together and feed kids, that need a little help, you got to go big with calories. You need the mashed potatoes, the gravy, the corn, and bread and butter, milk, meatloaf, country fried steak, chicken fried steak. So anyway, that's my little rant on socialism. Jay believes in free school lunch for all. And if anybody disagrees with that, because I told you my reasoning, because a lot of kids feel so discriminated against because of the policy of how kids have to get their free lunch. A lot of poor kids eligible for free lunch skip lunch. Explain that to me. We've got policies in effect in our fucking schools where kids eligible for free lunch skip lunch because what they have to do to get their free lunch, putting on their yellow Star of David or the stamp on the forehead that says I'm a loser, or whatever they make the kids do. It's bullshit. It's fucked up. No kid should ever be ashamed of getting a goddamn lunch at school. Ever. Period. Oh, someone just made an ignorant comment. Let's fatten up the children, eat their more. There's kids that don't eat on the weekends, you jackass. The only times they eat is at school. You're a fucking complete clown. Pizza is a vegetable, Jay. I agree. That's why I disagreed with the Michelle Obama school lunch thing. She's trying to give these kids fucking apples and fucking carrot sticks. Not that those are bad foods, but kids were throwing it in the fucking garbage. I want our tax dollars to go towards foods kids are gonna fucking eat. Fucking hamburgers, French fries, pizza. Those aren't the best foods, but it's better than a food they're gonna throw in the fucking garbage. Tacos. There we go. Yeah. Mexican food. Beans and rice. Beans and fucking rice. Jesus, who just, way to go, Jay, make the obesity epidemic worse? No, I'm not, you clown. What I'm trying to explain to you is there are children that suffer hunger that skip their free school lunch because they get bullied over getting free school lunch because the school has policies where everybody in the whole cafeteria knows what kids are getting the fucking free school lunch. How stupid are you? So anyway, I'm going to move on. I think those of you that have an IQ over 90 get it. Jay, would you rather sit? Who would you rather have sit on your face? Melania Trump or Jill Biden? That is a great question because at the beginning of that debate, I was kind of aroused by Jill Biden. Um, you know, Melania is a beautiful woman, but who knows? She could be riddled with fucking hemorrhoids. You know, Jill Biden might be a little old, but what if she's got like a perfect little fucking sphincter? If the kids are obese, they shouldn't get a free lunch. That's terrible. You're going to hell. Jill Biden does not give head. You could tell. Jay, did you ever find out if Brad called you a walking abortion? Uh, what Brad wanted me to do was tell everybody to message him and ask him. Female trucker babe just walked by. Look, she'd be a good bride for Lenny. She's in real good shape, huge tits. She doesn't look like she takes any shit from anybody. Jay, do you like cats or dogs? I like only outdoor cats. I would never let a cat in my house. But if you watch my gym video I posted from over the weekend, that even that gym feeds outdoor cats. If you've got outdoor cats, you should always feed them. And the ticket to feeding outdoor cats is you don't feed them. You never want that. You never want leftover food the next morning. If you're feeding your feral cats and there's leftover food the next day, you're putting out too much. And let me explain why. Because you're going to decrease competition for the food if you're putting out too much. So it's going to sit there. And when cat food sits out too long, you know who fucking starts eating on that cat food? Mice, rats, birds, and all sorts of fucking vermin that spread fucking disease. So what you need to do is start putting out a little bit of cat food just so that these feral cats start to become protective of your area, whether it's your home or your business. And then slowly add a little more. You never want to see leftover fucking cat food for outdoor cats left over in the morning. because if there's leftover food in the morning, guaranteed the mice and the rats and the birds have already been there, and you all you're doing is spreading disease. That's why when I go to like truck stops or hotels where I see outdoor cats, I only buy canned food because I'll know they'll be on that shit fucking fast as fuck. If you've got outdoor cats, you put out some wet food, they're fucking on it. So you know like Democrat lesbians, they'll put out a huge bowl of fucking dry food, thinking they're helping out the cats. And all they're doing is feeding rats, mice, and birds and spreading diseases and making every animal in that area more sick than they already are. Remember, when it comes to feeding outdoor cats, less is more. Because cats are natural born killers. Maybe they got some cat food yesterday, so they're not going to starve to death. But let's say you go to your sister's house for the weekend, or you go to visit your mom, or you take your girlfriend to Lake Tahoe to fuck her in the ass, and you don't put out any food that weekend. Cats are going to kill to survive. So always putting out less cat food is better. Never put out so much cat food that there's leftover cat food. No, I'm not Meow Man. I don't bring cats into my house, period. I can barely tolerate dogs inside the house. I actually think dogs should be in the barn as well. Like if I had a big old farmhouse with a barn, those dogs would not in a pond, because I like Labradors. And if you got a pond, Labradors are going to swim every fucking day. So Labradors are always going to be wet and stinky. So why the fuck would you want a nasty creature like that in your house? Go let them sleep in the fucking barn. Jay, if I win the lottery, I'll send you some. What, cats or Labradors or what are you talking about? I don't want Great Danes. My dream, if I won the Powerball, I would buy a big old farm where I could get a tractor and grow some crops to bring in the deer, because I like guns and I like shooting deer. But I would have a swimming pond on the property, and I would set up a retirement home for aging strippers and a Labrador rescue, so that you come out to Big J's, there's any day of the week, there's going to be a bunch of old strippers and Labradors hanging out by the pond. You're going to have a good time. Big J's Lab Rescue and Aging Exotic Dancer Retirement Home. Yeah, that's my dream. Buying an old farm with a swimming pond and setting up a retirement home for aging strippers and a lab rescue. So, any day of the week, it's going to be some women and some dogs down by the pond swimming. Who is the head mistress? I have no idea. Oh, the lovely Linda. Jay, I bartend at a strip club. I also love dogs. I'd love to go there. No, think about it. If you went to like Mississippi or Alabama or somewhere where I'd like to retire down south where it's warm, and it was like a bed and breakfast style, like southern house, and maybe it doesn't have to be bed and breakfast. Maybe we had some cabins, or maybe we would have camping, but there would be a big fucking swimming pond for the dogs. It would be like a lab rescue where I would have like, all these Labradors, blacks, chocolates, yellows. And then, in these, I would build like, or maybe the aging strippers, they would be in the cottages or the cabins, or maybe we'd build a dormitory for them or whatever. Figure it out. But you would have these women that are, been hot their whole fucking life, and they didn't plan for retirement, and now they're on dire straits, and now we bring them out to the farm, and we introduce them to the dogs because we're running a lab rescue at the same time, and Big J's got his tractor, and I'm planting crops and harvesting crops, and we got these retired strippers like doing chore work and earning their keep. It's the perfect scenario. Imagine Big J on his tractor, and we're baling hay, and the chicks that are fucking baling the hay are 50-year-old retired strippers and fucking G-strings, not wearing a top. It's just like they get the hay dust all over them. They go down to the swimming pond. They go get all clean in the swimming pond. Anyway. Adam McLeod said on Joe's Live he's going to re-cripple you. That's not the real Adam McLeod. Thoughts on being a walking abortion? I'm a pretty good walking abortion. Actually, thank God I was born before Roe versus Wade. No, I never confirmed Brad said that. I heard he said it on Lenny's live stream. I don't really give a fuck anymore. Brad, we got to move on, people. We can't dwell on the walking abortion thing. Just move on. Brad already made a snarky remark uh, on his story today. He posted a picture of the debate and he said, "Oh, certain piece of shit YouTubers have something to talk about now." You know, I know who he's talking about. He's being snarky and he's, you know, whatever, Brad. Fuck. We all move on. Big J, I saw a long-nosed Pete hauling pine trees, almost send a Prius to paradise today. Yeah, I don't like long-nosed Pete's, honestly. I like these modern Tupperware trucks. You know, can I take care of the rabbits? Dolan duck. Yes. See, that's the beauty of having a fucking lab rescue. Uh, you're not going to have the goddamn waterfall on your pond shitting everywhere. Don't. Yeah, we couldn't have any. There'll be no natural ducks, just yard ducks and chickens and hogs, and we and we'd have to have both kinds of chickens, layers and fryers, and then cows. We'd have to have both kinds, dairy and beef. No, I've got this figured out. Oh. Anyway, I haven't really picked out a state yet, but I'm thinking Mississippi because you can get so much for your dollar in Mississippi. I mean, I know you can get cheaper land in the desert, but you ain't got no water. The fuck good is that? I'll tell you, you know, I'll tell you one thing. I do not like uh, cottonmouths or water moccasins. I don't know where you guys are from, but basically, venomous black water snakes Down here in the South, they call them cottonmouths. Up in Michigan, where I'm from, we call them water moccasins. I think technically they're a cottonmouth. You, I, it, I think if you have pigs, though, the pigs would fucking kill the water moccasins, wouldn't they? I know pigs aren't afraid of snakes, and a snake can't kill a pig. Yeah, Mark Loveliner hurt himself. What are you talking about? Are you gonna fight Brad? No, Brad's passive aggressive. Brad is not a violent person. I Brad doesn't want to be my friend. I want to leave Brad alone. Yeah, that's a good point. I think if you got wild hogs on your property, they're gonna kill the fucking cottonmouths in your pond. I think that the important thing to do is mow the grass all the way around the pond so that if you do get a cottonmouth, he's gonna make his way through the grass after he leaves the water to get to cover. And while he's in that grass, fucking, he's got to deal with fucking eagles, hawks, hogs, all sorts of shit that can kill him. Yeah, Texas is sweet, man. I love hog meat, but I'm really thinking Mississippi is where I should retire. I've heard that Mississippi has the lowest cost of living in the whole country. All 50 states, Mississippi is the least. I'd like to just get fucking 40 acres in Mississippi, somewhere I could shoot deer. I'd be happy with that. Live in a fucking RV. Then the summertime, when it gets too hot, take my RV up north. Brett Farving it, yeah. You got that right. Yeah, Brett Favre's got it made. If I had money, I would be living the exact same life Brett Favre is living. He's got a real good looking wife. He's got some acreage there in southern Mississippi where he can shoot some deer. He's coaching a little high school football. I mean, that's the life right there. buy a tobacco plantation. I can't even afford 40 acres. It doesn't take much, maybe a few thousand. Have an outside gym, a mobile home like Toyota Chinook, and land. Yeah, dude, look, let's say Big J could get fucking some acreage in Mississippi. I pour a slab and put a roof over it, like people do for RVs, and then buy some squat racks, some benches, maybe a few hammer strength machines, and room for me to back my RV under it. Yeah, I could have a gym on private property where you could come out and fish in my pond and shit. I'll have the deer so trained. Here's how we're going to get women to my gym. I'll have those deer so trained that girls will be able to have deer eat from their hand. I've done it before. I can do it again. Yeah, when I lived in Michigan, I trained those deer to come in right to the picnic table. I could do it in Mississippi. Well, think about the typical chick that trains at a CrossFit gym that wants to do a little powerlifting or a little strongman. If she can come to a gym where there's a picnic table and there's a 5-gallon pail of corn there, and you can have a deer eat out of your hand. I mean, chicks are pretty much stupid. Any chick is going to fall for that. I could charge her just about anything I want a week. And then if it has a pond and a bunch of Labradors, room for her to pitch a tent, I'll tell you guys how I got the deer to come into my picnic table in Michigan. I used to keep my corn in a 5-gallon bucket. And I used to use a plastic beer drinking mug to throw the corn. And so when you've got an empty 5-gallon pail and you've got a plastic beer drinking mug, that you got from some bar or wherever, you can pound on the bottom of it and it's like a drum. And it's no different than Pavlov's dogs. So back in Michigan, I would never once I had my deer, I would never put out 5 gallons of corn at once. That's a shit ton of corn. But anyway, I would go out there with my bucket and I would throw the corn around out of my beer mug, my plastic beer mug. And then when the bucket was empty, I would turn the bucket upside down and I would bang it with my plastic beer mug like a drum. And the fucking deer would come out of the fucking woodwork. And they weren't scared of me. They weren't scared of my dogs. They didn't give two fucks. And my dopey fucking Labradors, see, it was such a great thing to have that connection with nature, because my dogs, they'd figured out chasing the deer was never going to work out for them, because I had chocolate labs, and any of you guys have had chocolate labs of any color, they're not quick. So the deer would come in to get the corn, and my labs would pretend like they're sleeping, and they would keep one eye open. Like, who the fuck are you tricking? And that's how smart my dogs thought they were. And these deer would come in because they had played the cat and mouse game where deer came in, dogs, roar, 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 roar. Deer go running, deer come back, dogs come out, roar, 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 roar. They had played that game. And my dogs finally got fed up with being played for fucking being a mark. And so finally I got to the point where I never personally hand fed my deer, but I have plenty of friends that will testament that they did at my house, because that was a special thing. I never did it myself. I always, and my dogs were so trained to the deer coming in for the corn with the pounding on that bucket, like Pavlov's dogs, that they were like pretending like they were fucking sleeping. It was such a hysterical fucking thing to see, because you got these two fat fucking Labradors, and that have no chance to catch these deer. And the deer know that, the dogs know that, but the dogs are still trying to pretend like they're being sneaky, like, we're not really sleeping. Okay. But it was funny, like, the deer respected the dogs. Like, when people weren't around, I would throw the corn out in the yard, and the deer would come in, and the deer would put their head down to eat the corn, and the deer would stare at the dogs. One flinch from the dogs, and the deer are gone. But the dogs are there like pretending to be sleeping. It was the biggest game I've ever seen in my life. Like, it wasn't reality. Like, this is man manipulating nature, because man was throwing corn around his fucking yard, and my grass was fucking perfect. My fucking grass when I lived in Michigan was fucking perfect. I don't get me started. I reseeded this lawn all the time, and I did a mixture. The Michigan Department of Natural Resources has a mixture that's got everything in it, no matter where you're at: shade, sun, wet, dry. There's a seed in this mix that's going to take. So a couple of times a year, I would take out my whirlybird and I would reseed my whole lawn. I had more deer ever. I'll tell you what, I never shot any of those deer either. I never was in need of meat. I got pure joy out of feeding those animals around my house. You want a name for my followers aside from the Misfits? It would have to be the Master Militia. Actually, we need 3 words so that we can come up with an acronym. Master Army Militia, the MAM, or J Masters Army, JMA. Master Militia. I don't know. Needs to be 3 words. Master Kennel. Master Militia Men. That's exclusionary to women. I don't like it. Kennel! 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 Big Masters Militia. Walking Abortion Militia. How about the NMM, National Master Militia? It has to be 3 words, otherwise you don't have a good acronym. I like National Masters Militia. Double 505 gang sounds really black. What about Masters Militia, right? The Triple M. The Triple M posse. Adam McLeod is calling me a walking abortion. That's probably not the real Adam McLeod. Adam McLeod is starting to use the term living abortion on social media. Well, I don't think that's true. I don't think Adam is that stupid. Demon King. Adam McLeod is very passive aggressive. Adam McLeod is going to do things that you have to be somewhat intelligent to realize he's actually ripping on somebody. Adam's not blatantly looking for trouble. So and technically I'm on Adam's side. So stop trying to pit me against Adam. Yeah. They can grow grass anywhere now, Jay. Yeah, dude. I really took seed technology where I lived in northern Michigan really to the next level. Like I knew what clovers would take, and basically the Department of the Natural Resources pretty much, no matter how much you thought about it or spent on it, the DNR mix, which had perennial rye, annual rye, a couple of different grass mixes, and a couple of different clover mixes. I mean, the DNR mix in Michigan, which was about, maybe 5 to 7 different kinds of seed, you couldn't do any better than that for your buck. So I pretty much multiple times a year put down DNR mix seed on my property, and so my lawn was just thicker than fuck. A lot of that was perennial rye, which doesn't come back. What kind of mower you had, Jay? I had You guys are gonna laugh. I had a fucking Craftsman push mower. Dude, I used to push um, probably 2 acres of grass by hand, and because I want to look fucking perfect and I wanted it to be awesome. And I wanted deer at my house, and you can spend all the money on fucking seed and fertilizer, this and that, but if you really want deer at your house, you gotta use a push mower and make that fucker plush. MLM game. I don't like that. I used to push my lawn with a hand mower. It was perfect. Probably about 2 acres. And I had deer coming in from every fucking angle, every fucking night. Malt liquor militia. Okay. Why are we doing this? We're all piss soldiers. I've had a Toro for 23 years now, it just won't die. Yeah, I love cutting grass. Good. You got a smoke? Hey, you got a smoke? You got a smoke? You have a smoke? Cigarette. Guy was a clown. Who the fuck doesn't carry around a pack of smoke? Fuck you guys. Seem angry today. No, we were just talking about fucking farming for fucking whitetail. I'm not angry. I have no cigarettes. Sure. Well, I was pissing a redneck just walked by. Thoughts on not being in the Misfits anymore? Well, I hope Brad likes being in the Misfits all by himself. I don't think about it very much. I don't think about it at all. Here's what I know. Andrew's my friend. And Andrew is my friend forever. Lenny is my friend. Lenny is my friend forever. So, what are we talking about? Like, there's no such thing as the Misfits. The Misfits is my good friend Andrew's YouTube channel. I'd like to try and help him out with it, but whatever. Like, so I guess if Brad is running the Misfits now, why doesn't Brad have his own YouTube channel? And if I'm not going to be welcoming Brad's channel, then that's a huge insult to Andrew, who basically introduced all of us to you guys. We'd be nothing without Prince Andrew. I'm loyal to Prince Andrew forever, because I would just been a fucking gym schmuck without fucking Prince Andrew. So now you guys think Brad has all this fucking power? What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Brad's a nobody. A absolute fucking nobody. Fuck. I remember my first couple of Misfit episodes. I wanted to kill that guy. So we've come full circle. It's real. He's gone back to being short hair Brad from fucking six years ago. Thinks he's real tough. You know. Remember, look at those early videos when Brad has a short hair. Jay Masters' return. Jay Masters' introduction to the videos. Remember when Jay Masters first joined the Misfits? Watch those early Misfit videos. I never even fucking talked to Brad because he was a fucking clown. And, you know, we're going to go back to those days where, you know, Brad's just like a skinny clown and I don't talk to him. Whatever. That'd be sad. I love Brad. I like Brad. I consider Brad a friend, but, you know, he's playing fucking tough guy. Oh, I want to fight you for my girlfriend. Right. Said many a man with a bloody nose. So you keep on rocking the free world, Brad. Fucking. You'll see. The Brad I know is from fucking 5, 6 years ago, with the crew cut, making fun of Genova, just insecure as fuck. Now, now that Brad is all grown up, oh, different program. We all gotta respect Brad. Oh yeah, Brad was Brad back in those early Misfits video. I wonder if Brad was married. I have no idea. I didn't really know him then. Very angry in those first few Misfits that I was in. Angry. He must have just got burned for child support or whatever. Now he acts like he's the toughest guy in the world. And you gotta laugh because you know he really thinks he's somewhere in between. And I like Brad. That's one thing that pisses me off is he's so passive aggressive against me. Like I like Brad. I'm willing to go on the paper and say I like Brad. But Brad has to come out every morning after I do a live stream and say, me and Jay aren't good. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, every day after I make a live stream, he has to come out and say, me and Jay aren't good. Like, anybody cares about him. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, oh, so tomorrow morning, Brad's going to do a video saying, me and Jay aren't good. Oh, fuck. That's going to ruin my day. I won't be able to eat or shit. I mean, you're talking about a friend of mine, and he doesn't consider me a friend of his, but he will. He's gonna learn, and what's going on right now is so ridiculous. Let me clear the air about my mom. My mom was 18 years old when she had me. And so you dipshits that are somewhat good at math could figure out she was only 36 when I graduated high school. Back up. When I was in fucking junior high, my mom was hot. My mom was real hot. And it's nothing to be embarrassed of. And the trolls are trying to make it seem like it's a bad thing. Shit. My mom and dad were both fucking smoking fucking hot. So if you guys think that's a bad thing, you can go fuck yourself. I come from fucking the purest stock. Get the fuck off me, man. Want to talk shit about my mom? Be one thing if my mom was a fucking sea hag. Why aren't you guys posting pictures about Brad's mom? Come on, man. Fair is fair. My mom was hot. I've been dealing with it my whole life. No, you guys don't get it, man. You guys think Brad's the first fucking person to talk about my mom? And Brad is a fucking... My mom is fucking 69 years old. Dude, do you guys don't have any idea how good my mom looked when I was in junior high? When my mom was born in 1950. I was born in 1969. Do the math. So, my mom always looked good. Always. Never looked bad. The fuck? That's supposed to be a negative? No, it's fucking positive. Fuck you. Anybody who thinks it's bad to have a hot mom, you can go fuck yourself. You, you guys should see these pictures. These pictures I have of my mom when she was like 15. Now, that should be banned from the internet. Yeah. My fucking dad was a fucking wild stallion. Racing motorcycles and building fucking 327 fucking Chevys. And he hooked up with the hottest chick in the high school, and they fucked, and they had me. And now you guys want to hold it against me? Wait, back up a second. Hold on. My dad was a hell of a brawler, a way better fist fighter than me. And my mom was the hottest chick in high school. So it's funny how like you guys want to fucking use my parents against me. That's stupid. What the fuck sense does that make? Come on, man. Like, oh, I wish Jay came from worse. You wish I came from worse? Yep. Right. I need a fucking cigarette. I'm extremely pissed. Big J, man.